Thanks for joining us today, folks. We're here with Blake Moyer, the President and CEO of the Surry County Economic Development Partnership. He's fairly new to the position, so we wanted to introduce Blake to the community. Blake, how's it going?
Doing well, Nathan. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So Blake, can you tell us a little about yourself?
Sure. I grew up in Alamance County here in North Carolina. I'm originally from Northwest Pennsylvania, but kind of raised in the South and wouldn't leave it if I had the chance to. Went to Western Alamance Middle and High, Methodist University, and UNCG for college education after that. Did the whole sports and clubs and all that kind of stuff throughout both of those, but grew up there, and that's where I started my career off as well. My wife and I live here in Mount Airy now. We got married last year in Westfield at Luna's Trail. If you've been out there past Pilot Mountain, best thing about that day outside of the obvious things was the weather. 70 degrees in February, so you can't complain about that. No kids, but 2 dogs and a cat, and we like hiking, camping, and kayaking, so big fans of Mount Airy and glad to be here. So.
Awesome. Those pets can be your babies. I know that.
They sure are.
Methodist University in Fayetteville, right?
Yes, sir.
Good school.
Yes, sir.
I'm familiar with it. UNCG as well. I guess you enjoyed your education there.
Yep. Yeah, very good spot. I lived at home and commuted to campus every day. Classes were mostly at night, but I worked during the day on campus. And UNCG is a great school. It's #1 in North Carolina for social ascension, essentially is what they call it, where folks who are first year or first time college students get the chance to kind of get the opportunities education provides. So I'm a big fan of UNCG and its vision for North Carolina.
It's pretty awesome. What about your work experience before working here in Surry County?
Sure. So like I mentioned, during my time at UNCG, I started working at the city of Burlington, which is my hometown. It's great to begin working there. Started in the city manager and the mayor's office. Worked on a lot of lobbying and kind of political involvement stuff there. Did a lot of community development efforts, public engagement opportunities, interesting things like taking residents through tours at a Cold War era missile plant, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
That was a lot of fun. We did the tours, and of course folks that used to work there showed up, and they may as well have taken over the tour instead of me doing it. They were giving us pointers here and there of what was actually going on, so that was pretty cool. Got involved in economic development through the city. That county's pretty close to RGP and the kind of life sciences hub, so worked with a lot of companies in that field on business kind of expansion and attraction. Went from there to work for Henderson County, which is below Asheville over there in I-26 in western North Carolina. That role was very existing industry heavy, doing events, outreach, and resource coordination for existing industry there. During my time there, we had 3 really nice expansion projects that I was happy to work on. All existing industry expansion, and economic developers are always going to be happy when you grow your own. That's kind of the goal of the industry. So very happy to do that. And then 4 months ago, almost now, got involved here at Surry County and happy to be here.
Blake, I'm excited to hear all that. I'm an 18-year local government veteran myself, and I know when you're working at that high level with a city manager, a county manager, you can have tight workloads at times. You can have some strict requirements to get the job done.
Sure. A few late nights here and there.
Right. Sometimes it can be baptism by fire. It's hard work sometimes, and it also sounds like you had a lot of great experience there in Henderson County. So.
Yeah. The hard work's what we're here for. I come at economic development from the public service perspective, where the role that we do is intended to benefit the community. It's we've got members, we've got industry, but at the end of the day, the goal is to be part of the tide that's lifting all boats wherever we're at. So whether it's baptism by fire or late nights working until 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, whenever it is, we're here for it. So happy to do it.
It's awesome to hear. So can you tell the viewers what economic development is and how you accomplish goals in your profession in layman's terms?
Sure, and I'll introduce the EDP a little bit more too. So the Economic Development Partnership has been working in Surry County since 1995. We have been a private nonprofit that whole time. That doesn't happen a whole lot. Usually when economic development organizations start as a nonprofit, sometimes they kind of seed into a county department or go back, they bounce back and forth a little bit, but it's a testament to the dedication the community has had to the EDP that we've stayed a nonprofit this whole time and had the support of both the public sector and the private sector. We work across the whole county and now have a staff of 3. Myself, Leah Tunstall is our business manager, and Katrina Alexander is now on board as our director of industry initiatives. Her role will be very existing industry focused, and she'll be starting with us in 2 weeks. The EDP has a board made up of members from across the community. I believe it's 26 members I have on the board. Some are voting, some are not, but you're kind of, political individuals from the various municipalities in the county, city and county managers, and then some of our membership as well as education and employer representatives are all on our board. And then from a work perspective, what we do, at the end of the day, economic development's a relationship game. We initiate relationships with business and industry, connect them to other people, other resources and individuals that we have relationships with. It's all about connecting the dots. It's all about making sure somebody knows who to call when they've got problems. And so we're kind of that middleman for whatever problems need to be solved. We're the kind of people to solve those, find creative solutions for those. We work with our existing industry as well as try to attract new, but here in Surry County, obviously our priority is to grow our own, to make sure existing industry is successful, with an eye towards expansion from those or new companies. It's a slew of things that we do. We work with workforce partners, private industry, commercial business here. We help develop property. The EDP has been intricately involved in both publicly owned sites and business parks in Mount Airy and Elkin. We've helped get some sites and some industry attracted to Pilot Mountain and Dobson as well over the years. But again, if it's creative, if it's a niche, if it's somebody you wouldn't expect to get involved with, we're talking to them. So a lot of folks to keep connected with, and a lot of folks to help out.
So very, very broad and detailed, it sounds like.
Sure.
So Blake, what are your goals for economic development in Surry County?
Sure. So thankfully, one of the things I was really happy with when I started this role is that for the prior year, the partnership and the board had gone through an intense public engagement process where they developed a strategic plan based off of industry and the community's goals for what we want to see Surry County be. Not what we are, not what we've been, but what we want to be. And that's a mix of both of those things, right? There's priorities with existing industry. That's who we've got and who we want to expand, give the opportunities to grow, employment and investment here in the community, but also just in general their success. Again, that's kind of that topic of when they've got problems, we find solutions, and that's in that same ballpark of allowing them to be able to expand, hire new people. One of our top priorities, as is any economic development organization in the country right now, is talent. Talent is hard to find, it's hard to attract, it's hard to grow. One of the things North Carolina is really good at is developing what we've got, and we've got some high quality education institutions here in the community that we work with on a day-to-day basis. Having 3 school systems, K through 12, is a weird thing, but it's even weirder that here in Surry County, all 3 of those school systems are in the top 20 in the state.
Right.
It's odd to have 3, but it's odd to have 3 really good ones, right? And then Surry Community College, serving both Surry and Yadkin County, is in the top 5, I believe, in workforce development programming.
Nice.
That's beating out community colleges in much larger, parts of the state like Asheville and Durham.
Right.
And we're super proud of the work that they've done. Dr. Shockley over there has, had that ship going at full speed. Housing has kind of come up as one of those other legs of what we're trying to work on. Workforce has its own issues, and one of those is housing. In Surry County, new housing hasn't gotten developed in a while, and so we're trying to, help find solutions on all ends of the spectrum. Whether it's, for lease apartments, if it's for lease condos and patio homes, or new single-family development. We're looking to try and help solve that part of the formula for us to grow and thrive here in the economy that North Carolina has. There's a lot of growth to be had. There's a lot of momentum in the region to take advantage of, and we're working to do that.
Awesome. Blake, what will you do to try and help existing businesses in the county?
Sure. It's kind of going back to what we've been talking about, right? Talent is the number one thing. It's a problem here. It's a problem 2 counties over. It's a problem 2 states over. Whatever we can do to take advantage of the people that we've got here, which is sometimes finding creative solutions, whether it's the Surry County Substance Abuse and Recovery Office with the county, working with people coming out of the criminal justice system, they've served their time, and it's time for them to get back in the workforce, and however we can make them successful.
Right.
So we appreciate those folks working on that, and we love to get them in front of industry anytime that we can. Growing our own through our education system, making sure that our kids that come out of K through 12 and community college here find good employment here, find places that they want to live, find things they want to do. That's a thing that we've struggled with in some recent years, and something we look forward to making some strides on. From a programming standpoint, we're always wanting to get out there and talk to industry, figure out if there's other niche issues that they're having. Get them together and talking to each other, whether it's through kind of B2B, kind of social events, or lunch and learns with resources, or talent summits talking about workforce. We want to get out there and have them talking with us and talking with each other, because when we're talking, we might be able to find some creative solutions.
Right.
That's the goal in general, is addressing talent any way that we can.
Right. Blake, how will you help attract new jobs and new housing to Surry County?
Sure. On the new jobs, that obviously can come from people who are, people in industry that's here, or new ones that are coming in. Both of them need sites. They need places to land. Especially in the recruitment field, projects move really fast, so we have to have ready-made sites for those projects to land. Mount Airy and Elkin both have a nice legacy with publicly owned sites and doing work on those to make them ready for industry. Here in Mount Airy, there's Westwood Industrial Park, and there's also Piedmont Triad West out by the interstate, and Elkin Corporate Park is there. There's still another 25 acres with more than half of it cleared and graded.
Wow.
It's a really nice site. Westwood and PTW also have some good sites inside of them that we have to continue to work on and make ready for industry. And again, those are landing spots not only for new, but for any industry that's here. A lot of our sites that are in town have development around them. There's not a whole lot of existing expansion potential on their current site.
Right.
So, take whatever company that you're thinking of here in the community. If there's houses right next to it, they can't build an industrial building on it, so we've got to have PTW ready for that next time that we've got existing industry ready to expand.
Right.
And again, to make them want to expand here, we've got to keep working on that talent problem. Everybody works through a formula, and that's the one that we've got to work on right now, is that talent issue. New housing is getting out there and doing proactive business development for those folks. Here on the channel, you guys saw the Housing Summit a month ago. Back at the beginning of June, we invited developers and public partners to come and talk about housing. We've done a market study that essentially gives us the ammo to talk to those developers, saying, hey, there's opportunity, there's a place for you to make money. It doesn't have to be in the center of the state. You can make that money right here in Surry County, and we're happy to connect you with opportunities to do so. So whether that's connecting to the right businesses, or the right property to work with, showing them that there are people moving here. We had a really good day of hard data, anecdotal conversations with employers, and then visits to sites that showed the need and showed the value that Surry County represents to those folks. And we'll keep working on that. That's not a one-time thing. That's a thing that is going to be a priority for us going forward. So it's mostly about communicating, putting information in front of them, and showing the opportunity.
Have you seen any positives following that housing summit?
Yeah. We don't have any shovels moving dirt yet, but there's been some really good conversations. And I think just about every municipality has had some of the developers be seriously interested in moving forward. So we're hoping to continue working with them. And again, it's the whole spectrum here. It's one of our big goals is market rate apartments. A lot of our employers talk about their younger workforce. That's what they're looking for, is that market rate, $1,200 to $1,500 a month for a 2-bedroom sort of apartment. And our employers would love to see some more of that working here. So we're pushing hard on that section especially. The other priority area is single family for sale housing. A new subdivision would make a big deal for us. So.
Blake, anything else you want to share about the Economic Development Partnership?
Mostly that we're ready to get back out there and start communicating with folks. If you haven't heard from us, reach out. Let us know that you're out there wanting to talk. We're here to work with business and industry. I'm new, so I don't know everything, and I won't pretend to. But our group's here, and we've got great leadership on the board that's making the right connections for us to discuss with industry how we can be helpful for them going forward. So,
sounds great. So, and before we leave,
Sure.
Blake, if you can tell us the name of the building we're in.
Yeah.
what it's about, and if it helps economic development here in Surrey County.
Yeah, this is a great asset. You might have seen some stuff in the newspaper, both in Mount Airy and Triad Business Journal, about this place. This is Interworks. Interworks is a co-working space. So that means that anybody, whether it's an individual or a company with a couple of people, can rent offices and become members here. You know, they can rent an office with a door, you know, private entry, you know, that whole deal, or they can use a cubicle on a day-to-day basis. But it's a flexible space that allows a new part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem to thrive here in Mount Airy. You know, we're a block from Spencer's Mill and right across the street from the Renfro Loft Apartments. We're barely a block down from Main Street. We've got people from all over the place here, you know, using this flexible space that you know, allows you to use it for a month or a year, and just like everybody else, the EDP needs space, and so this is where our office is at. We started working here in May. We'll be here for the next little bit. In a nice, you know, flexible, high quality environment that the Arevo Group and Workforce Solutions helped set up here in Mount Airy, and we're super proud to have them here. This is a space that, you know, whether it's work from home people with one-to-one businesses can come and be at, and this is something we haven't had, so happy to have it here.
Well, Blake, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys for watching us. We're going to go grab some free coffee back here.